G'day guys, doing it. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching this video. It is 2 o'clock in the morning and I was at the gym scrolling through the comment section on my other videos, and to my surprise, a lot of you Welsh fans has requested that I review this game. So yeah, I had to watch this game, and boy, I truly understand how you feel. Look, everybody knows I love Wales, right? I live in the greatest part of Wales, New South Wales. And I love Wales, especially when they're doing really badly, because it makes my team look better, okay? But look, I completely understand how everybody feels right now. I still remember 2024, after the Rugby World Cup in July, Warren Gatlin took the Welsh B team here to Australia in Sydney and lost to the Wallabies. And I still remember the comments. People were saying, Wildcard, don't get too excited. It's the Welsh and it's their B team, okay? Don't get too excited. You're still trash and Wallabies are still right down at the bottom, worst ranking ever in history. So don't get too excited. But to me, that was really, really important day for me. And I did shed a little bit of waterworks after the match, because to me, it was not the fact that we beat the Welsh B team. It was the fact that I saw in the eyes of the players that glimmer, maybe that, I don't know, maybe it's the just the little shine, the twinkle in the eyes again on the field that made me believe that the Wallabies could turn things around again. That was the reason why it was so important to me. Because the Wallabies look like an international test team again from that day forward after Joe Schmidt took over. And for the Welsh fans, I think this is what you're experiencing right now. Years of just downwards, awful performances. You can see the talents that's on the field. You follow the players every week in club rugby. You know they can do better, right? And you know they can compete in the highest level. You just need to, you don't know, maybe slap some sense into the players and they will just get there. And sure enough, the team, it's not about beating Italy. It's not about they're still getting wooden spoon this year. It's the fact that I think you saw what I saw in the Wallabies in 2024, that twinkle in the eyes of the players again, that passion that is inside each and every Welsh players that wanted to play rugby, that wanted to put on the national jersey and really having fun in doing it as well. You saw that again. You saw that passion inside the players again. And I think that if you feel like crying a little bit, if you feel like shedding a little tear after this game as a Welsh fan, it is completely okay to do so. And let me tell you, this team that played against one of the best Italian teams ever, if not the best Italian teams in Italian history, this team played against Italy is day and night difference from the team that played in the first round against England. I saw literally amateurs, players who didn't know how to defend, just a simple crash ball from England, to this outstanding performance where players are connected in defense, players are disciplined to not overcommit at the breakdowns, whilst understanding that the Italian counter-attacks are really, really good. Then having that commitment to secure the breakdown for themselves consistently, whilst maintaining discipline, show just tremendous amount of work done behind the scenes. The Welsh maul has always been something that's been good in the past, and that's kind of lost a little bit in the last few years. We saw that maul becoming a weapon once again tonight. Probably one of the best executed mauls in all of the Six Nations we saw tonight. The kicking game, much more tamed, much more targeted in the areas the Welsh wanted to go, using the speedsters that they have on the wings like Rhys Zammit to really pressure some of the longer distance kicks to try to ping Italy as far back into their half as they can, as they can, right? They're not just playing the standard box kick and one-on-one try to take that. They're playing a style that they feel like it's most beneficial, the best way to beat Italy, which is a longer style of kicks. It's worked for them, right? The Italians has one of the best counter-attacking on the field, and just putting the ball a bit longer buys time for your players to organize and push forward as a group to pressure those counter-attacks. And I think that is just something that, again, every week after week, the team has worked and looked at the areas they wanted to improve and looked at how they want to play rugby. The identity of the rugby team, of the Welsh team, is clearly starting to get molded into shape right in front of us. In terms of the attack as well, I always felt that the Welsh had a really good ability to break the game line, especially around the rocks with some of those short passes. One of the problems I thought was lacking a little bit, and I thought maybe Pivac was building for a little while, was the post-contact offload. All right, we saw quite and the problem with the Welsh team for quite some time now is that the players will make a break and nobody's following up, or maybe a half break, nobody's in support because nobody's believing that there's something could happen, and everyone's already looking at, okay, where's the next breakdown is going to be, and not even playing what's in front of them, the half line break that's just occurred in front of them. I saw a lot of support running in this game, right? And I saw a lot of short passes that kind of that has always been a strength for the Welsh. Bring ball back into the team, and we saw what's that? A number of line breaks, including a try that was scored from Wainwright from a short pass, short pass kind of from the 9 to the runner straight through like a little gap around the rock for through the Italian defense, right? We saw that a couple of times in this game, and again, I think that's the identity that the team wants to play, finding the strength, finding the areas that you think that you want to work on and really hone in on it. And I can see a lot of that work for the Welsh team. So the kicking game and the way that they wanted to run the short ball has been really outstanding for me in this game. And in addition to that, I thought the scrum was pretty good for the Welsh as well, especially in the first half. Second half, the Italians starting to get back a little bit. The Italians probably had one of the best scrums in the Six Nations right now. I actually came back a little bit in the second half, but I thought the Welsh managed the scrum really, really well for the most part as well. Another key battle that needed to be won against the Italians. The one other thing I thought the Welsh did really, really good is staying connected in that defense. A lot of times, especially in the first game against England, you can just see some players were advancing for the rush defense, other players were retreating because you're clearly seeing that players are not communicating. In fact, looking at the Welsh defense tonight, comparing to the French defense against English, I thought the Welsh actually looked better and more structured and did much better in terms of like squeezing the players. It's shutting down the options in midfield and forcing the ball to go wider, right? And with the French defense, if you look at the England game, players were literally like overcommitting to the same to tackling the same players, and then not like shifting around the field when the ball's being shifted from one side to the other, and players are still you have like 5 overcommitted on the short side. Nobody's shifting to the open side to try to cover the space that is opened up on the other side. You look at the French team, the defense is a lot more of a mess compared to what we saw tonight in this Welsh game, right? So really, crazy amount of improvement from the Welsh side. Once again, I think you guys will be pretty proud to see that. And I actually had to check, right? Wales is luckily not coming to Australia this year because I really don't want my July ruined. And also, luckily for me, we don't have to play Wales at the Rugby World Cup all the way until the finals. We've got the Springboks in the quarterfinals, and thank God, not Wales. And then maybe semifinals, or maybe all the way to the finals. We will not be seeing Wales anytime in the World Cup, which is good to me. Good news for me as well. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about. I kind of mentioned this in the England versus French game. Is one of the stats I'm starting to get very interested in is that how many points does a team concede after taking a 3-point, right? There was a drop goal from the Welsh team. My logic is that once a team takes a 3, especially if they had the dominance, if they had the momentum, once a team takes a 3, they mentally check out. It's almost a signal to the players around them. we've got enough points. Let's just hold this one out, and it's good enough. So Edwards took a drop goal, a beautiful drop goal, like 40 meters out, and pretty sure last time a Welshman did a drop goal was Gareth Anscombe against the Wallabies at the Rugby World Cup. I don't know. Let me know if that's actually the case. I'm pretty sure that's the last one I remember. But yeah, it's once that drop goal was taken, the Welsh did not score any more points. 17 points unanswered from the Italians. The Italians was able to spread the ball wider, was go a lot wider, and I just wanted to point out how good Garbisi's handling has been this whole game. Picking out the options, there were a number of those passes that lead into the Italian tries. Garbisi was like threading the ball through like multiple defenders, a little gap between multiple defenders, and still not getting intercepted to the players that he wanted to send the ball to. Just really impeccable stuff from Garbisi there, and then just getting around the edges and and eventually getting themselves through for the try. The Italians got denied about 3 tries this game. One of them was held up. The Monty Ioane was like a centimeter away from grounding the ball into the corner before he was pushed out by, I think, Ellis Me, I think his name was. And then there was one, and this one, just absolutely criminal. When Mike Adamson is involved in the refereeing team, of course, there's got to be some sort of what do you call it? Some sort of controversy, right? So this Italian try, as you can see, the ball clearly grounded on the line here, right? I can, in a blurry picture that I have here, you can clearly see the ball is grounded on the line, and somehow Mike Adamson looked at this and said the player was short, overruling the on-field decision of a try after seeing this right here. So, yeah, again, Italians, it's still not enough to win the game, but still, I felt like the Italians were hard done a little bit by Mike Adamson, right? Again, someone who's been controversial against the Wallabies, playing against the Welsh. Nick Tompkins, somehow, deliberate knock-on, do not apply to him. I will never forget the crime that Mike Adamson has committed against the Wallabies on behalf of the Welsh. So, anyway, this is just bizarre how he concluded that this was short, clearly on the line. And yeah, so let's have a look at the match stats of the game. 4 tries to 3 for Wales, a bonus point win, 291 run meters to 445. The Italians really caught up in the second half in terms of just the attack. 104 carries as well, so much higher efficiency. The Welsh worked a lot of their tries in close areas following their set piece play, whereas the Italians, like I said, was able to find gaps, especially in the second half after the Welsh reserves came on, exploring wider channels through for those channels, getting through the space out wide. 27 defenders beneath the Welsh, 16 for the Italians. 17 turnovers conceded for the Welsh, 14 against the Italians. 121 tackles made for the Welsh, 16 missed tackles. 115 tackles made for the Italians, 27 missed tackles. A lot of that occurred in the first half, no doubt about that. 25 kicks in play for Wales, 26 for the Italians. A bunch of missed goals. Penalty, 2 conversions, 37 points left on the table. If you can include that try that was disallowed, yeah, that's another 7 points. So 14 points, and that's 30 what 31. That could have been a draw. Yeah, it's actually really, really tight if you really get close to looking at some of these things. 729 kick meters from Wales. Like I said, they target a bit longer kicks than just your typical up and unders. 724 for the Italians. We've got 18 lineouts for the Wales, 3 lost. 10 lineouts for the Italians, 3 lost as well. Better completion rate for the Welsh there. There was 1 scrum loss for Wales. I'm pretty sure it was the second half. 4 scrums out of 4, and 6 scrums for the Italians, no loss. Now the Italians didn't have Ferrari on the field, so maybe that's why their scrums were a little bit lacking in the first half. But overall, I thought the Welsh did pretty good in managing the pressure that was from the Italian scrummaging. 7 penalties conceded for the Welsh, 1 yellow card. Oh, that's right, there was a yellow card against the Welsh was it one of the props? I think got sent off for delivering for collapsing the mall or something. I think it was. Yeah, but yes, the Welsh had to play with one player in the bin and still was able to hold out the Italians' attack. I think they only conceded one try during that yellow card period. 10 penalties conceded for the Italians, not too bad either. Anything 10 or under is considered okay in Test rugby these days. So yeah, pretty good all around for both teams in terms of stats. Let's have a quick recap on what happened in the game. It took about 14 minutes for the Welsh to really assert the dominance. They had a couple penalties that didn't kick for the 3 points. They went for the corner, and then they had a more, and then a couple crash. Sorry, not a more. The ball came down midfield, short ball. That was crash ball midfield, and then a quick short ball from the 9 to Wainwright, just crashed to the 10 channel, went straight through for the try. 7 points to nil. 24 minutes at the end, there was more. Got pretty close. A couple pick and goes later. One pick and go into the short side, in fact. Wainwright goes in for the second try. 14 points to nil. 28 minutes in the game. Another line out. Another more. A couple backs joined into this one as well. Just pushing it all the way through for a Darry Lake try. 21 points to nil. Half time. The second half, it took about 4 minutes in the second half. Wales was once again inside the Italian 22. Lots of pressure on one side of the field. The ball came out, a little backdoor play. The Edwards, the number 10, slides through a gap for a fourth Welsh try right away in the second half. The scoreboard ticks up to 20, what is it? 28 points to nil. After this, there was a Italian, after this, there was an Italian penalty that went for the line out. The Moor went all the way through. I think the Moor actually scored, but even though the Moor scored, the referee still gave a yellow card for collapsing the Moor before the try line. So I think the one of the Welsh props got sent off for this. So 7 points as the prop is sent off for the Moor try. 68 minutes in the game. Italian got some momentum rolling finally and starting to find space in the wider channels. So they went down one side of the field and then swung the ball all the way back to the other side. And then just, some good hands between Garbisi to Tommaso Allen, who went in for the try. 31 points to 12. 71 minutes. There was, again, a nice little break down the right-hand side of the field. And then the ball swung back onto the left-hand side. And Monty Ioane went into the corner and he just got pushed out with his leg touching the sideline, and there was a no try. 77 minutes. It looked like it was this one here. Basically, looked like there was a scrum. The ball came outside of field. Garbisi threaded the ball through a bunch of Welsh defensive hands everywhere. He threaded it through to his teammate, and he clearly grounded the ball here. You can see, and the referee Mike Adamson says no try. And finally, the Italians was able to get a consolation try at the dying minute of the game, 80th minute. Lots of pressure. Eventually, the ball was pretty close to the try line near the corner. The ball just popped out to the short side, and Garbisi went in to the corner for the finish. 17 points to 31, the final score. And if you're a Welsh fan, let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. I need to go to bed. I got to wake up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it's already 2 a.m. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. See you guys next week for the news. Cheers.